Everybody, it is Comic-Con here, also known as Timo's Comics, Comics with Timo, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to do a quick video showing and telling you guys what I got this week from the local comic book store, my LCS. And the reason I'm doing this video is the reason is I got quite a busy week up ahead. A full schedule with lots of things, parties, studying, you name it, and I gotta do it. So I don't know if I have the time to make a video later this week where I tell you what I read, because maybe I'm not able to read it this week at all. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I wanted to do this video to tell you quickly what I got this week from the local comic shop. Then again, I can't tell you anything from inside the books because yeah, I simply didn't read them. But I'm really hyped to read some books, some of these. So before we begin, I wanted to give a little shout out to my boys at Boom Studio and especially the Boom Box imprint. This week they released the Avant-Garde Volume 2 trade paperback. This wraps up the series. This book got issue 5 through 8. It was supposed to be 12-issue miniseries, but they wrapped it up at 8. And I believe later this year, in like September or October, they will release a third volume, just on trade paperback. So not on single issues, but it will wrap the whole story up in a third volume. So be on the lookout if you read Avant-Garde. Be on the lookout for that later this year. So from now on, you can get Volume 2 at your LCS, and they should have Volume 1 as well. And if they don't, they should be able to order you one. So Avant-Garde Boombox Volume 2 on sale this week. And then let's see what comics I got. I just filtered it with Marvel first, then DC, and then I got my indies. Not a lot of indies this week. So normally my stack with indies is bigger than the stack with Marvel DC. But unfortunately this week it's pretty much, yeah, it's double as much Marvel and DC than indies. So let's get into it without further ado. So the first Marvel book of the stack is issue 6 from X-Men. So the last issue was like 2 weeks ago. That's pretty quick, by the way. So maybe they were a little late on issue 5. We don't know. This is issue 6, and I believe this doesn't go further where issue 5 ended. So issue 5 had kind of a cliffhanger, and they told us that issue 5 was important for the future of X-Men comics. But we probably will have to wait for that particular story later on. This issue features Mystique, as you can see on the cover here. So, really curious about this one. X-Men issue 6. Also from Marvel this week is Morbius the Living Vampire. This is issue number 4, I believe. Yeah, issue number 4. Morbius is a character I didn't really know much of. I wasn't really a fan of Morbius. And actually, I didn't even know they were making a movie for Morbius. So I started on the series. I tried issue 1. I actually liked it a lot, and I decided to go on with it. And now here's issue number 4. And I'm really hyped to read it now, since we know that there is a movie coming out. So I want to know more about the character Morbius. And I got the feeling that they will tell us some more about the character due to the fact there is coming a movie within these books. So really curious about this one. Morbius issue number 4 out from Marvel Comics this week. Man, this boy never disappoints. This is boy Donny Cates, Nick Klein doing Thor. This is issue number 3. This series is amazing so far. You basically got Thor, the new herald from Galactus. The new herald of Galactus. Yeah, man, I'm really pumped about reading this one. This might actually be the first comic I will read this week. Out this week, Thor issue number 3. If you've read it, let me know in the comments down below. Spoiler free, of course, for the rest of us. But I'm really hyped for this one. Thor issue number 3. Going on with that Dawn of X train is Benjamin Percy's X-Force. This is issue number 7. This one features Domino with the real cool cover. I'm actually going to show you this one without glare. Look at this. This just looks stunning. Issue 7 of X-Force also released this week. Man, I'm really into Dawn of X and everything it produces. So I just pulled together my April solicitations, and there were like 10 or 12, maybe even more X-Men related titles. I'm really digging this stuff. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to every new comic book day, because every new comic book day we will get new Dawn of X related titles. Also this week in stores, this week is the first trade paperback from Dawn of X, with every issue 1 from the current Dawn of X titles. So X-Force, X-Men, Fallen Angels, The New Mutants, Marauders. I guess I'm missing one. Excalibur. Those 6 series have their issues number 1 in that trade. So if you want to read them in the reading order on trade, that is the way to go. It's like $25, and it should be available in your LCS from this week. So yeah, the next one is Excalibur issue number 7 as well. So yeah, at first I didn't really like this series because it's more like the magical part of the Marvel universe with like Morgan Le Fay and stuff. I'm not really liking that. But the last couple issues, like the last 2 issues or so, were pretty decent and even better than the Fallen Angels Dawn of X series. So yeah, and I'm hearing great things about this one as well. So Excalibur issue number 7. Really curious about this one. Then again, if you want to tell me something more about Dawn of X, what your opinions are, just let me know in the comments down below. Speaking of good books, and speaking of your boy Donny Cates, this is Venom issue number 23. Yeah, number 23. This is Venom Island part 3, right? Yeah, part 3. This has Mark Bagley on art, and of course writing by Donny Cates. At first I thought that this series wouldn't really grab me, at least this new arc, Venom Island, because it's very much related to the past of Venom comics. Venom Island is a thing that appeared in the Amazing Spider-Man comics before. I haven't read that part, so I was like, okay, maybe this is not for me, but I already was reading the Venom main series. I got the hardcover for the first 12 issues or so also. So yeah, man, I'm really digging Donny Cates' Venom. And the last 2 issues, the first 2 parts of this Venom Island arc were amazing. A fast pacing comic book. I can read this one in like 5 minutes or so. This is really amazing. Venom issue 23. Alright. This one is just okay, at least for the last couple issues. The Amazing Spider-Man, this is Nick Spencer, right? Yeah, Nick Spencer. Issue number 39. Yeah. My podcast with Jonah. Okay, really, really curious about what's happening in here. This is a book where I like reading Amazing Spider-Man, but if you ask me where issue 38 ended, I can't tell you. I don't know. The retention level for me with these comics is just so low. I don't know why. Maybe it doesn't grab me enough, I guess. Yeah. Also, always having fun while reading these ones, but yeah, I can't really remember where the last one left off. So we'll see. Issue 39 of Amazing Spider-Man released this week. Another series which I think is just okay. At best, it's Doctor Strange, Surgeon Supreme. I was reading the previous Doctor Strange series by Mark Waid, which I really like due to the artwork. The artwork in there was amazing. This one has artwork by Kev Walker, and I'm really not digging it. It's too cartoony for me. We had such a realistic art style on Doctor Strange. It was really gripping me, and now we got a cartoony art style. Actually, I'm going to show you a little bit of it so you can see what I mean. So I obviously don't have an example of the previous Doctor Strange series because it's somewhere in my long boxes, but I will show you a previous page of this artwork. So yeah, it's really cartoony. This is not how I'm used to reading Doctor Strange. So maybe it's just me. I don't know, but I'm not really liking this series so far. Actually, I will read this one, and if this one doesn't grab me, I'm gonna drop the title, man. I gotta say, I'm gonna drop the title if this one doesn't grab me. We'll see. I give it a shot. I always try to give series like 2, 3, 4 issues to really prove themselves. Issues 1 and 2 didn't do it for me, so maybe issue 3 will. We'll see. Doctor Strange, issue 3 from Marvel Comics. Then we got 3 DC books. I wanted to pick up the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey new prestige format issue, like we're seeing a Joker, Killer, Smile, Harleen, etc. My store was out of stock. He ordered just a couple because there were not a lot of guys pulling, and girls of course, pulling the title. So he ordered a couple for the store, and now the movie came out and everyone's calling like, do you have Birds of Prey Prestige? Yeah. So yeah, he was out of stock. So I got 3 DC comics right here for you. The first one is The Batman's Grave, issue number 5. Every week we'll feature a Batman comic. We got Detective Comics, of course, the Batman main title, and this is the 3rd title from Batman I'm reading, The Batman's Grave. Warren Ellis, Warren Ellis, Brian Hitch. These books are just one big action scene, and I'm really curious how it is to read these ones just like 5 in a row, for example, because then you have like 5 action scenes. When you're reading a lot of issues like me, I always forget what's happening in here, but when I'm reading a couple pages of the new issue, I'm up to speed with the story, because there is not happening much, but it is happening in a bombastic and crazy way. So I really like the artwork from Brian Hitch on this one. I'm sticking with it. I'm reading it all the way through, 12 issues in total. Issue 5, The Batman's Grave. Really curious about what's happening inside this one. Man, take a look. The Brian Hitch is amazing. Actually, I guess Brian Hitch doesn't draw the cover. Let me actually check who does that. Oh, the cover is done by Brian Hitch. Yeah, man. So, yeah, just an example of the artwork for you. It's cool. The Batman's Grave. It's cool. It's cool. I enjoy reading The Batman's Grave. For sure. Next up is Wonder Woman issue 751. So they're back to the legacy numbering, because we got like issue 82, I believe, from this current run. Then we got last month we got the big 100-page issue 750 giant, and they decided to keep counting on from that 750 issue. So here's 751. Yeah. To be honest, this looks more amazing on the shelf. Like, here's our 750 and 751 issue of Wonder Woman. But I guess the downside of this is that when a new reader comes into the store and he sees the DC books and he sees Wonder Woman issue 751, it's like, how am I ever going to understand what's happening inside this book if I miss 750 issues? This run is going for like 83 issues or so, and the last arc ended with that 750 giant special, so this is a jumping on point. Really curious about this one. I really love this cover, man. Wonder Woman 751. Here for you. And the final DC book I read this week is The Dollhouse Family. Joe Hill House Comics, DC Black Label. At first I picked up issue 1 and I was like, is this something for me? Is this something for me? Issue 2 blew me away. Issue 3 was okay, and I'm really curious about what's happening inside issue number 4. That's it for Marvel and DC, my peeps. Then we got a decent stack of indie comics here. Let's see what we got. The first one is Tartarus, I believe it's pronounced. Issue number 1 from Image Comics. Man, this is a huge comic. I don't know if you can see it, but this is a huge comic. It's $6, so I guess it's like which I guess two or three issues in one. So this will take some time to read. Tartarus issue number 1. I really don't know what it's about. We'll see. Can't tell you much more than that. Also from Image Comics, we got 20XX issue number 3. Issue 1 was amazing. Jonathan Luna, yeah, right? Okay, Jonathan Luna did an amazing issue number 1. Lauren Keeley, killing it on the artwork. This is done in black and white. And at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna read the black and white issue. Okay, let's see what it is about. And issue 1 blew me away. Issue 2, though. Damn, that monster was wordy as hell. It took me like maybe even half an hour to read one freaking issue. So I got this one today and I was looking through it and I was already seeing giant speech bubbles. So I'm really on the fence about this one. I'm hoping it gets me back into the story because issue 1 was amazing, and the concept though, wow. You should really try issue 1, but be on the fence about it because it gets a lot of words inside these books. It's worth the price though. $4 for like a book of text. Wow. The final one from Image this week. Man, I don't know why I'm still reading this one. It's Tina Horn, I believe, with SFSX or Safe Sex. The first issue in this series was really interesting because the concept is interesting. It's like a generation. There is the government just decides. It's really hard to explain for me, but I'm not even gonna try it. The concept in issue 1 was great. Basically, people are not allowed to have sex freely. They need to do it controlled by the government. That's pretty much the premises of the book. And of course, you got an underground team working against the government, and that's what this is about. Issue 1 was amazing. Issue 2, 3, even 4 were like whack. Issue 5 was pretty decent. This is issue 6. The only reason I'm buying this is because the arc is ending at issue 7. So that will be the point where I quit this one. It's just okay now. It's just okay. Yeah. Don't know what to say. This one is from Mad Cave Studios, a very small press company. So there's a small chance that you will see this comic book in your LCS. But if you like it, if you like the premise of the book, ask them to order it for you because we need to support these small press companies. This is RV9, issue 4 from Mad Cave Studios. Also this cover, give this a little bit more love. This cover is stunning. The colors are popping out of it. What I really like about indie companies is that they give some more effort into, they put more effort in pulling the books together. So you got a more sturdy cover, thicker paper, something like that. I really like that, and it's for the same price as your Marvel comics. So this one is also just $4, $3.99. Basically, this takes place in Italy, in Rome, to be precise. This story really needs to open itself up. So basically, you have an organization which they call the Revolution, which is led by this man here. Their goal isn't really clear here, but it has a paranormal, spiritual thing to it. Really hard to explain as well, but the main entrepreneur is a girl, I can't remember her name right now, and she's fighting against this organization. This comic book is nothing new. This isn't spectacular in origin, or in story at all. What really gets me in here is the 90s vibe artwork. I really dig it, and the colors are popping out of this book. Here's an example of the artwork. I really like this one. RV9, Mad Cave Studios. Get your copy while stock lasts. Man, for how long am I talking? Almost 20 minutes, man. Okay, so next up are 2 Valiant books. Valiant Comics really amazes me the last couple months. I'm actually reading like every issue they publish, and I'm really digging it. This one in particular, this series is so underrated, and I don't know why, because it's amazing. This is Rye, issue number 4 from Valiant Comics. Man, I do hope that Rye gets his own movie as well. He deserves it. So there's a commercial for the Bloodshot movie with starring Vin Diesel, which is coming out next month in March. I hope they tease this, man. I really hope so. When they do, I might scream at the cinemas. I'm really looking forward to a Rye-related movie. Would be awesome. Issue 1 was okay, and maybe that's the problem with the series. Issue 1 was just okay. It was a fine comic. The art looks amazing. Juan Jose does the artwork, and it's written by Dan Abnett. The issue 1 was okay. Issue 2 blew me away. Wow, the story in issue 2 was amazing. Amazing. Basically, they're searching for small parts of the Father, which is something what happened in Fallen World, which is basically a prelude of this book. So it continues where Fallen World left off. The Father is split apart. He's weak now, and he needs to collect the last pieces of his mind, his body, whatever it is. And Rye is trying to defeat those parts in order to prevent Father from getting together and be unstoppable. That's basically the premises of this book. But every issue is a little bit one-off, you could say. They're as Stephen from Gem Collectibles said it feels like Usagi Yojimbo story. So he goes from one place to another place, there happens something, it wraps up in the issue, and then he goes on to the next place with a little story on the background. That's how this feels, and I'm really digging it. Rye issue number 4. I don't know what's inside this book, but I'm really hyped about it. Rye issue number 4. Valiant Comics. Also from Valiant is Bloodshot issue number 6. This is the long shot part 3. Issue 5 took place on like a scare con or Halloween con, what's called. It digs deeper into a character from Bloodshot's past. Gotta be honest with you guys, this is the very first Bloodshot series I'm reading. I knew there was a movie coming out, and this one is written by Tim Seeley, one of my favorite writers, so I had to read this one, and it's okay, it's really good. Who does the artwork? Booth. I'm thinking about his first name real quick. Actually, I'm just gonna search it up. Brett Booth does the artwork. This one has really distinctive art style. It really... Oh, okay. Can you see? It really feels like the 90s to me. Let me give you another quick example. Man, the lighting is bad, but it really feels 90s. I'm really liking that part of this book. Story just okay, but great to read. Bloodshot issue number 6. So I got 2 books left, and I'm already talking way too much. I'm not even reviewing the books. I'm only telling you what I bought this week. So, like I told you last video, this week was a little bigger, and believe me, next week is balls to the wall, crazy big. So that one, it should be really interesting how I'm going to read all those comics in 1 week. But I got 2 more indies left, and the first one I want to talk about is a new Boom Studios series, Alienated issue number 1. This one was big. This had a big announcement in previews. It was the first title Boom showed there in Previews magazine. Boom Studios is killing it lately. Literally killing it. Something is Killing the Children, Once and Future, Folklords, The Red Mother, Strange Skies over East Berlin, and I know I'm still missing amazing series from Boom. they're doing a great job lately with these small, really indie type books. So before they were more like Power Rangers and some bought property. This is originated with Boom, and it's done by Simon Spurrier, who does the Hellblazer books right now at DC Black Label. I really don't know much about this title, but I'm really hyped. And man, with knowing what Boom Studios is doing lately with all those amazing titles, you can't go wrong with trying an issue 1 from Boom right now. And who knows? Maybe it gets worth something sometime. Alienated issue 1. And the final comic I want to talk about is one not many people are reading, and it's a shame because it's a really great comic. I know some people jumped off this title after issue 1 because it was so much related to the real world and adding real world problems into the comic book, and especially problems in America. So I'm living in the Netherlands. As you can hear, I'm not originated in America. So maybe that's why I can enjoy these comics more. I don't know. Maybe you're offended about what's in here. I don't know. But at least give it a shot. This is Humanoids' Ignited. This is issue number 7. This is the penultimate issue of the second arc. So they have 4 issue arcs. Every series they publish right now got 4 issue arcs. This is issue 7 of Ignited. The first arc was amazing. And the second arc is just as good. It's an awesome read. Every week, every month I should say, with Ignited in it is a great month. This is pretty much about, I could say, about survivors of a school shooting. So within the first arc, in the first issue actually, within the first panels, you see a couple kids who are having nightmares and having a trauma because they were in a school shooting and they survived. Some people became empowered during that school shooting, so they're called the Ignited. So it's like an X-Men related thing, you could say, like what Image does with Heart Attack. This is something like that. So those people get powers, and the main entrepreneur in here is called Anouk, which is a Dutch name, I believe, or French name, whatever. And we get to learn her powers in the second arc, which is really amazing. But basically you got a new team of Ignited people who are fighting against the school who wants to have teachers with guns in order to prevent another school shooting. So it's really political. But I like the way Mark Waid is doing this one. So at least give it a shot. If you really don't like the premise of the book, okay, then it might not be for you. If you don't like the first 2 issues, then this series isn't for you. But if you do like it, ask your shop to order you one, because we need to keep this series alive and up there with the others. Humanoids are doing great stuff with their new H1 imprint, which is basically a world where all these stories happen, but they're all separated. So you got 3 series right now. You got Omni, I believe it's called, or Omni, whatever, Ignited, and you got Strangelands. All 3 series are running right now, so and I guess all 3 do have a first arc in trade paperback available, so try them out. Humanoids, really love what they're doing, at least and for sure with Ignited. That's it. That's what I bought this week. That's what I will read this week. And I'm going to wrap this video up real quick because it's taken too long already and I really want to read some books. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you're reading this week. Let me know what you thought about any of these books I just showed you in the comments down below. Let's keep the conversation about comic books going on within the comics. Let's keep the conversation going. Then again, you can find Avant-Gardes from Boombox in your LCS. Thank you for watching the video, and yeah, up until next time. And I'm really hoping I can finish these books so I can tell you a little bit more about what's inside, so you can decide whether to buy it or not. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.